Okay, Dr. Fox, so I'm going to give you my final presentation. And so I chose this book that I've done a couple other things over already, but Pedal Power by Alan Drummond. And this book, again, is about how Amsterdam became the bicycle capital of the world. And so just to start, nowadays, the bicycles rule the roads in Amsterdam. And it didn't always start that way. I don't remember what the date was. Let's see. It was 1970, I believe. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, in the 1970s, Amsterdam, like most big cities, had a lot of vehicle traffic, and so it started with just it was just a mom. She enjoyed the old-fashioned way, riding her bike everywhere she went, taking her kids to school, going to the grocery store, sightseeing, going just for a simple joyride on the bike. It started with that, and what had happened was that used to be the norm, but then suddenly traffic, just kind of all over the world, kind of took over. Lots of cars on the road, lots of traffic, and made no room for bikes. And so she had just kind of taken that and was like, this is wrong. We still like to ride our bikes and be on the roads. And so they had people started protesting, and they had they started protesting to kind of have bike rules set into place or vehicles banned. And then come to find out, there was an article that had went out in the newspaper about a girl that had died, and she was hit by a bike, or was riding her bike and hit by a car. And so after that, they were like, all right, we really need to set some rules. And so they had made this law that they banned bicycle riding on Sundays. And so these moms now all band together, didn't really like that rule. And so they went in through the tunnel, which is only for vehicles. No bikes are allowed through the tunnel. And so they rode through the tunnel, and at the end of the tunnel, it goes underground. So they went underground through this tunnel, and at the end of it were these policemen, and they were that were blocking the road, and they were expecting them to arrest them and take them all to jail for what they were doing, and because they had broken the law. And so they took them to the police station, but instead of getting in big trouble, they were super welcoming of it, and just this isn't safe, and we need to set some rules for bike riders, and we want this to be a place for them. So now they proposed, it says, propose special bike lanes on busy routes, traffic bumps and curves in the roads to slow down vehicles, new laws giving bikes the right of way over cars, and people just began to listen. And so through all of that and lots of time, Amsterdam is now the bicycle capital of the world. And in the book, it talks about other places too, like Tokyo, New York City, China, London, the United States, even, of how many bikes are available, and what that looks like in other cities and countries where they what's more popular where, and how Amsterdam kind of paved the way for that. And so I loved this book. I thought it was super cute, which is kind of why I've used it so many times. It's longer, but not a hard read, and I love the illustrations in it. So I really enjoyed this book, and I had fun coming up with activities. It's got a wide variety of things in it, which is really cool. And even this whole project in general, I didn't think that it was going to be not necessarily easy, but once I started reading it in perspective of thinking of these different subjects, I would read a page and be like, okay, well, that connects with science in this way, or we can do this with social studies because of this. And it was okay, maybe this is how teachers actually read books all the time now, is in this perspective. And so that's been cool. So going back, my first activity I did was for social studies, and it was a news article. So in the book, I'll try to find a picture. In the book, they have the news articles where the girl was hit, and they have stuff about people protesting, and just these stories about bikes and just what's happening in the world, or in Amsterdam. And so thought we could create that in class. So based off of the information that you're reading in the story, create a news article about it. And so sharing your thoughts and your views on Amsterdam being the capital of the bicycle capital of the world, and kind of just like your opinions on it. Like, of course, like we would go more specific. I just kept it kind of broad in a sense, but you would write your views on it, probably draw some pictures. Do you like bikes on the road? Do you think they shouldn't belong on the road? So yeah, that was one of the things, was my news article. Another one is a graph, and so this one tied in with math and just reading through the book and talking about trucks and cars and bikes. This even just goes in with social studies and transportation as well, but having the students use like a manipulative, so like Skittles or bears, something to create, so like we're like learning how to make graphs, but they're creating a graph of like who rides the bus to school, how many kids in the class ride in the cars, how many kids in the class walk to school. And so like giving them that list and teaching them how to make the graph with those points. And so that's another activity that I've used. And then this other one is going with the arts, and in the book it also like has like mentions like the news report and where's it at? I want to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah, the news reporter and just like the articles and stuff, I thought it would be cool to like do a recording or like an interview. And so they're gonna, like, one's gonna be the recorder and one's gonna get to, one's gonna be being recorded while the other one's interviewing, and kind of go back and forth. And so in the story, the students will get the chance to practice again. Like there's another role play activity with the arts, so they're again getting to do something similar, and they're pretending to be like a talk show host or like an interviewee or a radio broadcaster, and they will interview and record each other's views on a debate that we have in class. So also one of my activities in social studies, because this became like such a big like debate and topic and protesting thing, and cars versus bikes, we're gonna have a debate in class and like split the class in half. And I chose a topic that I think they could go with pretty easily, and it's like, does the teacher what did I write down? Do teachers give out too much homework? Something like that. And so I have a couple activities, this being one of those, that kind of will go back to that idea of the debate. And so for this one, they're explaining their views on that debate topic when they're being interviewed. And so those are the 3 activities that I talked about. I don't know if I mentioned the grade, but I was thinking second grade or third grade for this. I think, I don't have my presentation pulled up, but I think I wrote 2nd grade. And so yeah, Pedal Power by Alan Drummond, and I really like this book. I think I might have to go buy it, but I gotta definitely return this one to you because it's yours. And 2 of the books on the back here I mentioned in the related books, just because that's who wrote, it's by the same author, and similar in the sense, like it's talking about like one of them is Energy Island, the other one's Green City, and this one just being Pedal Power, like very like nature, energy, like outdoorsy kind of stories. And so I put those down as 2 related books. So yeah, I think that's it. Sorry, this is very probably crazy, but you know, you also heard me before, so I'm sure you've seen it. But anyway, thank you, Dr. Fox, for everything this semester, and just for helping me learn and walk away thankful for this class and not hating social studies and enjoying even this project. And so yeah, just thank you for everything that you've done. Have a great break and hope you're feeling better too, and I'll see you next semester.